Morning, folks. I've just got back from a lovely walk down to the beach and a swim on the tidal pool with Peanut, bit of ball throwing. This is just a brief update to show you my positions, not a full update. And as a member, you're getting access to this video about an hour or two before everyone else. So let's go through it. First of all, NASDAQ. Well, I really don't know. I think the market's digesting the algo sell-off yesterday. There were some algorithms involved in that big sell-off. We bounced off the trend line as I posted up in X and also in my private group. Unfortunately, we did go short though after retracing back to the 20-period moving average. And we're short there now with our stops above the high. There's the 20 period. We're above it now, which is not great. But today's not over. And if we close below the 20 and below this channel line and head down towards the 50, the red one, and the 100, that'd be pretty good news. We'll wait and see how that goes. We're also short AMD. That's just going a wee bit higher, but we are short more or less at the top. I'm looking to short NVIDIA later today, and I'm going to switch these to the NASDAQ tickers just to show you. Let's go back to AMD quickly and show you why I'm short. It's pretty simple. Long-term channel, we traded within it for a while, broke down beneath it, fell down, fiddled around a bit, and we're back at the underside of that channel. So that's the reason for a short. Simple as that, nothing very exciting. Remember, we've got earnings coming up on AMD at the end of the month on the 30th of January. I think earnings may disappoint on the chip stocks and some of the other tech stocks. And if they don't disappoint, at very least, good news is probably baked in already. So bear that in mind. Same thing on NVIDIA. There's the big channel, beautiful channel line. We traded within it. We broke down below it. We've been up to the underside of the channel once, and this is the second occasion. If we do get up into that circle, I'll be looking to sell NVIDIA today. And then for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to cover the others. Over at the currency screen, we have nothing on euro, pound. We have a short on the Swiss yen and the dollar yen. I think these are just beginning to roll over right now, but I'm allowing for the dollar yen to move up into this range here. You can pause the video and check the levels. Swiss yen, we've got a bit of a Wyckoff formation taking place. If we can push down further today and hold below this channel, that should set things off in motion. Right, gold, we're long. We took another position long at 2,000, just holding above there for now. I think 2,000 might try and hold. I'm allowing for a dip down to as low as 1,800 on gold, looking to carry on buying dips, exit rallies, buy dips, exit rallies, until we get going to new highs. I have nothing on silver, diddling in the middle. Don't like silver in general, as you'll know. UEC and URA, we took profits on this week. I think it's time to start to look to buy back into URA now that we've retraced to this previous swing high. Right, going across to some of these other commodities. We're long on soya, still holding that trend line. Barely. I'm hoping for this move to travel along the grey line, bouncing off the channel bottom and the 618 fib. We will stop ourselves out if we break and close beneath the channel. And thereafter, I'm going to allow for a move down to some of these other levels, notably the 78.6% Fibonacci level. And that could take us to below 1,000 on this chart. So keep that in mind. Don't hold on to these longs. There's a long way down if this trend line breaks. Right, we've got nothing on cotton, nothing on sugar, just sort of rallying up a little bit. Natural gas, we're still long. We're holding above this 280 level, which is really good news, and that's a key support level. We've added to our long position. We now have a slightly bigger long position on natural gas, and we're still aiming for the top of the channel, around 375 to 380. Let's look at that on the weekly chart, and you'll be familiar with this by now. Let's clone this bubble and move it to where our target is. Note that it's also the 200 period moving average on the weekly chart, the 200 SMA, and naturally this is one of the most powerful levels on the chart. Going back to the day chart, so far so good, holding up pretty well after a kind of a small dragonfly doji yesterday. All good news, and support's holding for now. And then WTI oil, we've broken out of this downward sloping channel line, which is good news. We almost got stopped out yesterday on that spike down. We spiked back above the trend line and we're holding above it today. Our target remains the same. We'd like to follow this path, get up into that zone, somewhere between 80 and 85, probably closer to 82 to 84. Exit our long trade, reverse to short when we get a signal, and we're aiming back down to this green zone at the bottom here, and then perhaps below that into the 50s. So we're trading WTI, not Brent crude. We've also got a position on US cocoa futures. We're short on this one at the red line. I discussed this yesterday in quite some detail. We formed a sort of a doji candle yesterday on this instrument. Whether we can hold beneath this high now at around about 44.70, we'll have to find out. But I still think we could easily get down to this breakout support level. There's the 20, 50, 100, and 200 period simple moving averages, and my target for cocoa remains all the way down here where this red line is at about 32.60. And then Bitcoin, again, I don't really want to talk about this too much. I don't know what's going to happen here. Have a look at my tweets and my last video on Bitcoin, but probably looking a bit weak. I think we'll probably have to move down. We are below the 20 period moving average on Bitcoin, and we're still below this channel bottom, so it doesn't look great for now. But having said that, any dips down to about 40,000 and preferably into the mid to low 30,000s will be the opportunity to buy Bitcoin for a new rally to test these recent highs and then move up into much higher levels. Nikkei index, I've just got this on this chart I was looking at today for those interested. A pull back down to about 33 to 34,000 would be ideal. Whether we can get that or not, I don't know. That's also more or less where the 20 and the 50-day moving averages are. So if you are short the Nikkei, there is some hope for you to get back down there. If you're long the Nikkei, you might consider taking profit. I have a very small long position on VIXY. I know that all of those who are following me and others who have taken a long position on the VIX, not the VIXY, did really well yesterday. I made a little bit of profit on VIXY, but it's generally an in and out sort of play, and it's a decaying instrument. You can't see it very well from this chart. But if I switch to the NYSE version, you can see why it's not a good idea to buy and hold long VIXY positions. Same for VIX actually. It stays low for a long time, spikes up occasionally. You've got to try and catch those spikes. Well done to those of you who did that yesterday. I can't trade VIX on this platform, so I went for VIXY, made a little bit of profit, but nothing very exciting. And then the US 10-year yield, as I said in my previous video, I think we could get back up into some of these levels. 4.2, maybe 4.6, maybe 4.7 on the US 10-year yield, but we don't have any trades on that at the moment. For those of you trading the rand pairs against the dollar and against the pound, I have a permanent long position on these, more or less. In other words, short the South African rand, long the dollar, long the pound. So I don't mention those trades in my trading room much. But what is interesting, if you do trade this, and not many people do, is that the pound has broken out of its consolidation pattern. We have a bullish flag forming right here on the pound South African rand. We broke out through the top this week. We've pulled back to the breakout level. Great place to go long if this is one of the currencies you trade. And as I said, I virtually have a permanent long position on the dollar rand and the pound rand. Well, have a great day, folks. If you found the video useful, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe if you'd like to. And I'll see you in the next one.